Hi! Today on Araw-Araw Filipino, we will learn about questions that start with how, specifically how much or how many. Previously, we have learned that we have different ways to say how in Filipino depending on the context. To ask how to do something, as in the method, it's paano. How much is a measure, is gaano. How much is the cost of something, magkano. How many is the count of something, ilan. And in the previous lesson, we learned about paano. Let us now learn to ask how much is the measure or gaano. To help us with this lesson, let us look at some new words or mga bagong salita. These are words for measure or sukat. Distance, layo. Heat, init. Duration, tagal. Again, distance, layo. Heat, init. Duration, tagal. Now we will use these new words starting with distance or layo. Here is an example question. How far is the Philippines to Sydney? Gaano kalayo ang Pilipinas sa Sydney? To ask what is the distance between two places, we also ask how far. And how far is gaano kalayo. We added a ka to layo. Now, what is a simple way to answer this question? It is 6,056 kilometers. 6,056 kilometers ito. Now, let us look at an example using duration or tagal. How long is the travel? Gaano katagal ang biyahe? How long? Gaano katagal? We added ka to tagal because the phrase how long is asking about duration. Do you see the pattern now? We put a ka before the word of the measure. There is a new word here which is travel or biyahe. Let's answer the question. It is from 8 to 12 hours travel. Mula 8 hanggang 12 oras na biyahe ito. The Filipino version is mula 8 hanggang 12 oras na biyahe ito. But 8 and 12 works just fine and it fits on this page. When we talk of travel here, I'm talking about air travel. From is mula, to, hanggang, and hours is oras. Now let us look at an example using heat or init. How hot is it in the Philippines? Gaano kainit sa Pilipinas? How hot? Gaano kainit? We added ka to init because the phrase how hot is asking about heat or temperature. The answer is from 28 Celsius to 40 Celsius in summer. Mula 28 Celsius hanggang 40 Celsius sa summer. Now that we have learned how to ask how much is a measure or gaano, we can tick that. Now let us learn about how much is the cost or magkano. To learn to ask how much is the cost or magkano, let us continue with questions about traveling to the Philippines. how much is the airfare? Magkano ang pamasahe sa eroplano? Fare is pamasahe. We are asking about the cost of traveling via an airplane. The air part in airfare refers to airplane, which is eroplano. The answer to this question is from $600 to $1,500. Mula $600 hanggang $1,500. That is in Australian dollars, by the way. Here is another example. How much is a dollar to peso? Magkano ang dolyar sa peso? Dollar is dolyar. The answer is $1 is 36 pesos. 36 pesos ang $1. We have just learned how to ask how much is the cost of something or magkano. Let's give this a tick. Now we can learn about how many is the count or ilan. To learn to ask how many or ilan, here is a question. How many people are there in the Philippines? Ilan ang mga tao sa Pilipinas? This is not the word-for-word translation, but it's the common way we will say this in Filipino. It translates closer to how many people in Philippines? People is mga tao. The answer to this question as of the year 2023 is the population is more than 113 million. Mahigit 113 milyon ang populasyon. Now that's a lot of people, right? That means you'll have plenty of people you can converse with in Filipino. Some of the new words here are more than, mahigit, million, milyon, and population, populacion. Here is another question. How many islands are there in the Philippines? Ilan ang mga isla sa Pilipinas? Again, this is not a word-for-word translation, and this translates closer to how many islands in Philippines? Islands, mga isla. Answer is, there are more than 7,600 islands. May mahigit 7,600 ang mga isla. There are is may, which we have learned in a previous lesson. More than, mahigit. So now we have also learned how many is the count or ilan. Let's give it a tick. And here is a reminder from Max.
It's best to keep a list of words so you can still remember.
That's right. If you have a handy notebook, keep a list of words, and you may use this for answering your homework, which is to practice asking questions that start with gaano, magkano, and ilan, and practice answering it. Also, find out the Filipino words for height, weight, depth, cold, so that you can use it in your practice. I hope you can join us again next time on Araw-Araw Filipino. Thank you. Salamat po. Now, a few words from my son, Max.
Thought this video was cool? watch the next one and like and subscribe the channel too if you haven't yet.
Bye-bye!
Bye!